Can you feel it? The tremor of unease rippling through the Bay Area, a nervous energy that whispers of a dynasty at a crossroads? For years, the Golden State Warriors have defied gravity, rewriting the NBA's playbook with their revolutionary style and unparalleled success. But now, as the offseason churns with whispers and uncertainties, are they about to make a move so audacious, so fraught with peril, that it could either reignite their championship fire or send their carefully constructed empire crumbling? We're talking about a potential trade that could rip a vital young talent from their roster, and in its wake, the shocking consideration of a fallen star, a player whose career has been derailed by injuries, controversy, and a glaring weakness that has haunted him for years. This isn't just another rumor. This is a deep dive into the high-stakes chess match Mike Dunleavy Jr. and the Warriors front office are playing. It's a story of desperation, innovation, and the audacious hope that a player once considered an MVP candidate, now an unrestricted free agent in limbo, could somehow find his redemption in the very system that seems least suited for him. Could Ben Simmons, the enigmatic non-shooter, truly be the answer for a team built on shooting and spacing, especially if Jonathan Kuminga, their athletic young forward, is traded away? This is the NBA Court Report, and I'm Chase Sr., ready to dissect the most intriguing and perhaps most terrifying scenario facing the Golden State Warriors this offseason. The Kuminga conundrum, a looming void and unsettling whispers. Let's start with the elephant in the room, the domino that could trigger this entire seismic shift. Jonathan Kuminga. The Golden State Warriors have, for weeks, maintained a steadfast public stance. Jonathan Kuminga is not for sale. He's a foundational piece, a burgeoning talent, and an integral part of their future. Yet, in the relentless churn of the NBA offseason, where smoke often precedes fire, the whispers persist. Until Kuminga puts pen to paper on an extension, his departure remains a distinct, unsettling possibility. And if that possibility becomes a reality, the Warriors will face a gaping void, a critical deficiency in their roster that could force them into a desperate, yet potentially brilliant pivot. Kuminga, for all his inconsistencies, brings something irreplaceable to the Warriors: size and athleticism. At 6 feet 8 inches with explosive leaping ability and defensive versatility, he's a dynamic forward who can attack the rim, guard multiple positions, and provide much-needed physicality. Without him, the Warriors roster, even with its veteran core, becomes alarmingly undersized and less athletic. This isn't just about losing a player, it's about losing a specific type of player, a mold that is difficult to replicate in today's NBA. The internal reports suggest that if Kuminga were to be traded, particularly for another guard, like the rumored offer of Malik Monk from the Sacramento Kings, the Warriors would be left with an even more pronounced lack of front-court depth and defensive versatility. This is the precipice upon which the Warriors stand, a delicate balance between retaining a promising young talent and potentially making a move that could redefine their roster construction. Enter Ben Simmons, the enigmatic savior or a risky bet. And this is where the story takes a dramatic, almost unbelievable turn. If Jonathan Kuminga is indeed traded, the Warriors' free agency plans, currently focused on acquiring complementary pieces like Al Horford, D'Anthony Melton, Gary Payton II, or even a reunion with Seth Curry, might have to undergo a radical transformation. Mike Dunleavy Jr. and his front office might be forced to shift their gaze from reliable role players to a far more volatile, yet potentially high-reward target: Ben Simmons. Simmons, an unrestricted free agent, is a name that sends shivers down the spines of many NBA fans. Once a 3-time All-Star, a Defensive Player of the Year candidate, and the #1 overall pick, he's become a symbol of unfulfilled potential, a fallen star whose career has been marred by injuries, mental blocks, and a notorious inability to shoot. His time with the Brooklyn Nets and Los Angeles Clippers has been a frustrating saga of false starts and lingering questions. Yet, despite all of this, the idea of Ben Simmons in a Warriors uniform has been quietly discussed in league circles. Why? Because at 6 feet 10 inches, he possesses a unique blend of ball handling, elite playmaking, and suffocating defense that, in theory, could address the very void left by a Kuminga departure. Now, let's be brutally honest. Under normal circumstances, with Kuminga still on the roster, the idea of adding Simmons to the Warriors makes little sense. The Warriors already grapple with spacing concerns, particularly when Draymond Green is on the floor. Adding another non-shooter, arguably one of the biggest non-shooters in NBA history, would seem to compound that problem exponentially. It's a legitimate concern, a fundamental stylistic clash that has plagued Simmons throughout his career. But these aren't normal circumstances. This is a scenario born out of necessity, a desperate attempt to fill a critical gap if Kuminga is no longer in the picture. Losing Kuminga would create an undeniable void of size and athleticism, and Simmons, even a diminished version of his former self, could surprisingly help fill that void. Simmons' rocky road. Why the Warriors could be different. Ben Simmons' journey since his departure from Philadelphia has been a painful one to watch. With the Brooklyn Nets, he struggled to find his rhythm, battling back issues and a clear crisis of confidence. His brief stint with the Los Angeles Clippers offered glimmers of hope, but again, injuries and an inability to consistently contribute derailed his progress. Teams have tried to integrate him to unlock his unique talents, but none have truly succeeded in rehabilitating his value. This offseason, Simmons has been strongly linked to other contenders, most notably the Boston Celtics and the New York Knicks. For the Celtics, the idea is that he could potentially rehabilitate his value during a gap year, perhaps as a defensive specialist and secondary playmaker. However, questions linger about his fit once Jason Tatum, a ball-dominant superstar, returns from injury. Would Simmons truly thrive alongside another player who needs the ball in his hands? Similarly, for the New York Knicks, the fit with Jalen Brunson, another dynamic guard who controls the offense, is questionable. And let's not forget the past on-court drama that has sometimes followed Simmons, raising concerns about team chemistry and locker room dynamics. These are valid concerns, and they highlight why Simmons remains in limbo, a player with immense talent, but a complex set of challenges. This is precisely where the Golden State Warriors could offer a unique pathway to redemption for Simmons. Unlike many other teams, the Warriors' offensive system is not solely reliant on one or two ball-dominant creators. Their motion offense, predicated on cutting off-ball movement and elite passing from Draymond Green, could theoretically mask Simmons' shooting deficiencies. Imagine Simmons as a screener, a short-roll threat, a passer from the high post, or a devastating force in transition. His elite vision and passing could unlock even more opportunities for Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson. On defense, his 6 feet 10 inches frame, incredible wingspan, and quick hands could make him a terror in the Warriors' switching scheme, allowing him to guard multiple positions and anchor their defense alongside Draymond Green. The Warriors' emphasis on defense and their ability to maximize unconventional skill sets could be the perfect environment for Simmons to rediscover his identity as an elite defender and playmaker, rather than being forced into a role that exposes his weaknesses. The high-stakes gamble, weighing risk and reward, make no mistake, signing Ben Simmons, even if Kuminga is traded, would be a high-stakes gamble for the Golden State Warriors. This is not the three-time All-Star, near MVP candidate we saw 5 years ago. This is a far diminished version, a player whose physical and mental resilience has been severely tested. His injury history is a legitimate concern, and his shooting woes are not going to magically disappear overnight. The potential for him to further disrupt spacing, even in a system designed to mitigate it, is real. However, the potential reward, particularly in the wake of a Kuminga trade, could be immense. If the Warriors lose Kuminga and don't receive another 6 feet 7 inches or taller player in return, they will be desperate for size, athleticism, and defensive versatility. Simmons, even with his flaws, offers all three. He could be a secondary playmaker who allows Curry to play more off-ball, a defensive anchor who can switch onto virtually anyone, and a formidable rebounder who helps them control the glass. It's a calculated risk, a move that only a team with the Warriors' unique system and championship or bust mentality would even consider. It's a bet on potential, on environment, and on the hope that a change of scenery and a specific role could unlock the talent that still resides within the enigmatic Australian. A dynasty's daring move. What will the future hold? So, here we stand at a pivotal moment for the Golden State Warriors. The future of Jonathan Kuminga hangs in the balance, a decision that will ripple through their roster. And in the shadow of that uncertainty looms the unthinkable. The potential acquisition of Ben Simmons, a player whose career has been a roller coaster of brilliance and frustration. This isn't just about filling a roster spot, it's about the very identity of the Warriors. Will they stick to their traditional blueprint, or will they dare to venture into uncharted territory, taking a risk on a fallen star in the desperate pursuit of another championship? The answers to these questions will not only define the Warriors' upcoming season, but could also reshape the narrative of one of the NBA's most dominant dynasties. Will this be a stroke of genius, a redemption story for the ages, or a gamble that backfires spectacularly? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain. The Golden State Warriors are not afraid to make bold moves, and their next one could be their boldest yet. Now, I want to hear your voice, the passionate heartbeat of the NBA fan base. Do you think the Warriors should even consider Ben Simmons if Jonathan Kuminga is traded? Is this a genius move or a recipe for disaster? Drop your thoughts, your wildest takes, and your most insightful analyses in the comment section below. Let's ignite a fiery debate, because your opinions matter. And if this deep dive into the Warriors' high-stakes offseason has you on the edge of your seat, smash that like button right now. Don't forget to subscribe to the NBA Court Report for more exclusive insights, unfiltered analysis, and all the breaking news that keeps you ahead of the game. Your support fuels this channel, and together, we'll navigate every thrilling twist and turn of the NBA